Have you ever found yourself in a situation where just one simple question was enough to make you lose confidence, lose control, and even start doubting yourself? You try to explain, but the more you talk, the more it falls apart, and in the end, you're the one at a disadvantage. The problem isn't that your answer isn't good enough. It's that you're responding to questions that were designed to put you in a weak position in the first place. Some questions aren't meant to seek the truth. They're meant to manipulate your emotions, break your composure, and pull you into someone else's game. And if you don't recognize that, you'll always be reacting, never in control. If you want to stay calm and stop being led around by these psychological traps, hit like and follow so you don't miss content that helps you take control of yourself. Now let's dive into 5 questions that wise people always avoid answering. 1. Why do you look so nervous? This isn't just a caring question like it may seem. It's a subtle way of planting an assumption in your mind that something is wrong with you. And the moment you start explaining, "No, I'm fine, it's just," you've already accepted that frame. In the workplace, this happens all the time. Before an important meeting, all it takes is someone saying, "You seem a bit tense," and if you respond by justifying yourself, you'll immediately be perceived as lacking confidence. Not because you're actually nervous, but because you allowed someone else to define your state. The core issue is this: they can't control your emotions, but they can make you question yourself if you let them. Calm, grounded people don't rush to react. They understand that not every comment needs to be confirmed or denied. A short response like "I'm fine" or even shifting the conversation is enough to maintain control. A small action you can apply right away. Next time someone labels your emotions, don't over-explain. Just respond briefly and return to what you were doing. Practice this daily, you'll notice you become less affected over time. Calmness doesn't need to prove itself. It reveals itself through your ability to not get pulled into unnecessary conversations. 2. Don't you trust me? At first, this sounds like a question about trust, but in reality, it's a form of psychological pressure. It puts you in a forced position: either trust completely or be seen as suspicious, cold, or even the problem. And most people, because they don't want to look bad, end up giving in. But look deeper. Someone who is truly trustworthy will never force you to prove your trust by giving up your caution. They understand that real trust and healthy verification can exist together. Imagine a familiar situation. A friend asks to borrow money and says, "Don't you trust me?" If you immediately agree just to avoid feeling guilty, then you're handing control over to emotion, not reason. But if you calmly respond, "I do trust you, which is why I want everything to be clear, so we both feel comfortable," you keep your boundary without damaging the relationship. The key point is this: trust does not mean blindness. Being careful is not a lack of trust. It is a sign of maturity. A small action you can apply right away. The next time someone uses this question to pressure you, don't react emotionally. Pause for a few seconds, take a breath, and respond with one principle in mind: stay respectful, but do not abandon your boundaries. Practice this consistently, and you'll gradually become more in control in situations like this. Wise people do not let their emotions be led by manipulative questions. They hold their ground with calmness. 3. What are you hiding? This is one of the easiest questions to throw you off balance, because it directly challenges your integrity and transparency. It may sound like simple curiosity, but in reality it puts you in the position of being guilty even when you've done nothing wrong. The moment you rush to explain, "I'm not hiding anything," it's just, you've already accepted the role of someone under suspicion. And ironically, the more you explain, the deeper you get pulled into a loop of proving yourself, while the other person isn't actually seeking the truth, they're trying to gain control. Think of a familiar situation. You choose to stay quiet in an argument, and someone immediately says, "Why are you so quiet? What are you hiding?" If you respond with a long explanation, you've allowed them to invade your personal space. But if you calmly reply, "Everyone has the right to keep certain things private," or simply ask back, "Why do you think that?" you shift the dynamic. The truth is, privacy is not secrecy. Not everything needs to be exposed just to make others feel comfortable. Mature individuals understand that they are not obligated to explain every action, emotion, or moment of silence. And they certainly don't need to prove their innocence in the face of baseless suspicion. An action you can start today: stop over-explaining. Whenever you feel pushed to speak, pause and ask yourself, "Am I speaking because it's necessary or because I feel pressured?" If it's pressure, choose silence or a brief response. If you want to build a strong mindset and stop being manipulated by questions like this, hit like and follow. What you learn today can change how you take control of your life permanently. 4. Do you think you're better than others? This question usually doesn't come up when you're wrong. It shows up when you start to change. When you stop engaging in gossip, stop reacting negatively, or simply choose a different path from the crowd, some people will feel uncomfortable. And they use this question as a way to pull you back down to the same level. The problem is, it pressures you to downplay yourself just to be accepted. If you quickly respond, "No, I'm not better than anyone," you're unconsciously apologizing for your own growth. Imagine a casual gathering where everyone is talking about others. You choose to stay quiet. Immediately someone says, "What's wrong? You think you're better than us now." If you start explaining yourself, you've already stepped into the trap. But if you calmly say, "I'm just choosing what feels right for me," you hold your ground without creating conflict. What you need to understand is this growth isn't about being better than others. It's about being different. And that difference doesn't require approval. A small action you can apply right away when you're put in this situation: practice giving short, non-defensive, non-justifying responses. One neutral sentence is enough. Then stop. Don't try to convince others to understand you. Focus on staying true to your choices. Strong people aren't shaken by judgment. They understand that not everyone will agree, and that's completely okay. 5. You won't be offended if I'm honest, right? It sounds polite, but in reality, it's a disguised warning. The person already knows what they're about to say might hurt, and they're asking for permission to cross your boundaries. The problem is, the moment you say it's fine, go ahead, you've unknowingly handed them that permission. And afterward, no matter how negative or critical their words are, it becomes much harder for you to respond because you already agreed to it. Remember, not every truth is worth hearing. Some words aren't meant to build, they're meant to vent emotions or put others down. For example, a colleague says, "You don't mind if I'm honest, right?" People think you work pretty slowly. If you stay silent and endure it, or immediately try to explain yourself, you've already fallen into a passive position. But if you calmly respond, "Will that help improve the work?" Or if it's constructive feedback, "I'm open to it," you reset the standard of the conversation. The key point: you have the right to choose what gets access to your mind. A small action you can apply right away. Next time you hear this question, don't answer immediately. Pause for a moment and shift the decision back to them with a clear question. Practice this response, you'll become much less affected by ill-intentioned comments. Strong individuals don't absorb everything, they choose what is worth taking in. Not every question deserves an answer, and not every conversation is worth your participation. That's a major shift in mindset from trying to respond correctly to choosing your responses with intention. Most of us grow up believing that silence is weakness and responding is control. But in reality, it's the opposite. When you respond to everything, you're letting others dictate your emotional rhythm. When you know when to pause, when to ignore, when not to step into psychological games, that's when you're truly in control. Maturity isn't about how well you speak. It's about knowing when not to speak. You don't need to prove your calmness. You don't need to explain yourself to be understood. And you certainly don't need to react just to satisfy others. Every time you choose silence at the right moment, you're building an invisible boundary that protects your mind, a space others can't easily invade with words, emotions, or manipulation. That's not coldness, it's self-mastery. Remember, you are not obligated to answer questions that disturb your peace. If you truly want to change how you face life, stop getting pulled into arguments. Stop being manipulated by others' words. Don't just read this and move on. Right after this, think of a recent situation where you were led or pressured, and imagine how you would respond differently, shorter, calmer, or simply with silence. And if content like this helps you see more clearly how to control yourself, hit like and follow. The sooner you understand this, the more time, energy, and unnecessary pain you'll save. You don't need to defeat others. You just need to not let yourself be pulled down. And sometimes the greatest win is not responding at all.